Hi everyone, I'm Ajay. I'm a Microsoft certified solution developer, and today we are going to talk about newly introduced feature in C Sharp 8, and I'm going to make a series of videos in which I'll talk about all the newly introduced feature one by one. And today we are specifically talk about nullable reference type. So what does this nullable reference type mean and what kind of benefits we are going to get from it? So let's get started. As we all know that nullable type introduced in C Sharp 2.0. However, it was only introduced for value types then. Earlier, we had no option to assign null values to int or float or any kind of primitive variable. But after this release, we were able to assign null values to primitive type variables. But still, there was one thing missing that has been introduced in C Sharp 8, which is creating nullable reference type as well. Yes, you heard it right. Now we can declare our reference type as a nullable or non-nullable reference type. So what's the benefit of it? Well, we all know about the most dreaded exception which we get sometime, and that is null reference exception. That can happen because if we declare a reference variable and we assign it null, and we try to access any of properties or values, or we try to dereference that reference variable, so at runtime we can get this most dreaded exception, which is null reference exception. So we can avoid this exception by declaring our intent more clearly while designing an application. Let's say if we are sure while designing an application that whether this reference type variable is going to is going to have some kind of null value in it, then we should declare it by declaring it whether it is a nullable reference type or no nullable reference type. So this newly introduced feature is all about declaring our intent as a developer more clearly while designing an application. And if we stay lucid, if we stay clear with our intent, then the compiler informs us when we write code that is inconsistent with that intent by throwing some warnings in our face. So if it's not clear to you, we'll get our hands dirty to understand it more clearly. So let's jump into Visual Studio. Well, in the interest of time, I have already created a console application in which we have got three classes. One is student, in which we have got three properties. One is name, age, and courses, and list of courses. And a course can have course name, duration, trainer. This country property should have been added to this student class. And we have got this trainer class in which we can have name and email of a trainer. So let's say we want to create a reference variable of student class like student, and we want to print the length of this student name. To access this inside this main method, let's make it static, and let's say we want to print the length of student name. So to name length of student is name length of student is student dot name dot length, right? So there is nothing unusual. We have just created a reference variable for student class, and we are trying to access the length of student name property. So let's build it first, and what we see now, we just receive one warning, and this is not the kind of warning that we expected. It says that program.student is never assigned, so let's assign a null value, and it will disappear for sure. Let's build it again. Now it's gone. As you can see, it's gone. So what I wanted to let you know here is we can assign a null value to reference variable, or we can just give it a fully instantiated variable. So now let's give it a go. Let's see what happens at runtime. As you can see, this is the most dreaded exception that we get while accessing our reference variables if they have been assigned null value to them, right? So how we can avoid this exception, or how our compiler can help us to deal these kind of null reference exceptions. So, by using C Sharp 8 new feature, nullable reference type, it could have been avoided, or we can avoid these kind of null reference exceptions. So let's see how. So first off, to enable nullable reference type feature across the entire application, first we need to do a change in our C Sharp project file. We just need to right click on it, add it project file, and we just need to add one more property here, which is nullable, and we just need to set it. Now you can see the moment we enable this property, we have got lots of warning messages from our compiler. Now compiler enforces us about these declared properties in these classes, that no nullable property name is uninitialized, consider declaring the property as nullable. So it says this is a non-nullable property, either we need to initialize this property or consider it declaring as nullable. So how but we cannot have a student who has got no name, but we while designing our application, we thought that we can have some students in which we do not want to assign country property, so we can make it nullable by assigning this by adding a question marks, so that way we we can disappear this warning message for this property. Now let's go to courses. So to make it work, we can ensure that we assign proper values. Just we just initialize the objects, and the moment we do so, and it started disappearing. We can also do the same for student name, as you can see. And now let's go to trainer. Same goes here. Let's say we can assign email a null value, then we can do the same here as well. And for name, let's say okay, name property cannot be null, so we just assign empty. And for course, let's say we do not want to assign nullable trainer, so we just want to create a trainer object here. That's it. And for name, let's say string.empty. String.empty. Now as we can see, this null literal to non nullable reference type, since student is known nullable reference type variable, but if you want to make it a nullable, we just need to append this question mark to this variable, and that way it will become a nullable reference variable. But the moment we make it nullable reference variable, it will also help while dereferencing it. Compiler also goes ahead in this case and let us know that we are dereferencing this nullable reference variable. As you can see, student may be null here, dereference of a possible null reference. So it can help us to avoid null reference exception in each and every case, whether we are declaring some properties or whether we are creating nullable reference type variables. So here we can avoid null reference type exceptions if we hover to this property, so we can avoid accessing this thing here, or we can add a null coalescing operator, but it will only help us to disappear this warning message. Nothing changes at runtime, so we just need to ensure that whether if we can add a if statement, if student dot has value, if student is not equal to null or is not equal to null, then we just want to access this property. That's it. Now warning disappears. Let's give it a go. We are able to see hello world, and the moment we assign the student some value like name, uh, David, and let's give it a go. What? It's $5. How? So we have added it. Now, what if we do not want to apply this feature across the entire application? If we have got a project in which we have thousands of classes, so we do not want to get a whole lot of warning messages from our compiler. We do not want that our compiler yells at us. What if we wanted to apply file by file or one by one by going to each and every class, or maybe in a specific block of code? So instead of applying across the entire application, what we can do here, we can apply it using some context. And if we need to apply it by using some context, we just need to use these two directives, nullable enable and nullable restore. So from where we want to start this nullable reference context, we just need to enable this, write this line of code. And where we want to disable this area, we just need to write this directive nullable restore. Let's see it in picture. So I just want to let's remove these things. Now it says that this is well, first off, let's remove the property that we added in project file. And the moment we remove this, so it no longer warns us about the properties that we added, or nullable, we make nullable. And we can also not use this nullable reference variables in our application. Let's build it, because earlier it was applied to the whole application, so we cannot use these features like nullable annotations. It says the annotations for nullable reference type should only be used within nullable annotation context. So to enable nullable context, we just need to, let's say we want to apply this nullable thing inside this student class. What we need to use here, we just need to write this nullable enable, and we just need to write nullable restore. That's it. So it's applicable in this area only. And let's remove it. It's not applicable here. As you can see, there is no warning signs. And in case of student, we just use this context, we just enable this context, so it is this nullable reference context is applicable only to this class. And in this trainer, we cannot use this variable. Now let's go to this class. So we are also making this reference variable as an nullable reference type. So we want to use this feature in this method as well. Instead of across the entire file, we can just make it enable this inside, like nullable and nullable enable. And we want to enable this inside this class only, and we can make it nullable restore. Simple. That's it. So it can be applied a specific area of our application. And if we have got a big application, so we can apply one by one to each and every class. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.